live, nobody's safe. That's the new segment. Tonight, Goodfellas, more like Badfellas. Paul Sorvino, I'm coming for your ass. Colossal is written and directed by Nacho Vigalondo and stars Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis. After losing her job and being broken up with, Gloria, played by Hathaway, moves back to her hometown. Meanwhile, a giant kaiju monster wreaks havoc in Seoul, South Korea, and Gloria starts realizing that her drinking binges and the monster attacks might be connected. Vigalondo's previous works focused on how technology can corrupt people and always take a supernatural turn. Colossal fits in here in a subtle way that I appreciated more. The technology isn't exactly what corrupts the people in the movie, but just the idea of the attention you get from social media in general. The film uses the supernatural elements really effectively, as the big kaiju scenes aren't big action scenes, but they play out more as how they would play out in this real life situation were to happen. It's a high concept plot that takes a low concept route, and if you're not buying into it at the beginning, I'm not sure if the movie's going to keep your attention. The film takes time setting up what it's truly trying to tackle. For about the first hour, we follow Hathaway as she's discovering what's going on with her and just trying to understand the morality of the situation. And by the halfway point, the film kind of changes and a character has a tonal shift that feels completely genuine and earned because of Vigalondo's laborious setup. Gloria is an alcoholic whose drinking winds her up into different positions and situations that she doesn't even remember getting herself into. The idea of a self-destructive character whose alcoholism manifests itself into a giant monster that attacks Seoul, South Korea is super fascinating to me. It's the type of storytelling that I love, a completely internalized crisis externalized in the most grand supernatural way possible. But that's not what this film is. Well, is and isn't. Those wonderful story beats contribute to a way more complicated and compelling story of apathy and entitlement. It's not an easy movie to talk about. You have complicated feelings about each character that complicate more once more of their past is revealed to you. When the Jason Sudeikis character becomes integral to the movie's genre essentially shifts, and I don't want to spoil anything describing his character, but I will say that his performance is a showstopper. And not to say Anne Hathaway isn't fantastic, she's a really pathetic character and she's always playing through a filter of a constant non-stop hangover. It does get a little actory sometimes, but then again it's a giant monster movie, so like you do have to get a little actory sometimes. And again, Jason Sudeikis is playing himself until he isn't, and honestly didn't expect this from him. One of my favorite performances of the year so far. The film has an extremely strange sense of time. The attacks only happen at 8:05, and it's always light outside when they happen, but like the scene right before it is always dark, and so you're just like, everything's happening in between the hours of like 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. and you just don't understand like what's going on. It could be like they're trying to get you in the mindset of like a drunk person who never knows what time it is, but honestly the whole thing just feels really disorienting. And yes, this is a film with maybe one speaking role for an Asian person that does use Seoul, South Korea as a metaphor, but you know what? Ghost in the Shell sucks. So at the end of the day, Colossal is my kind of movie. I'm in love with these internalized struggles that are manifested in a supernatural way. I love it when they do this effectively and the characters are so preoccupied by their own issues that they don't realize how weird everything around them is happening. Vigalondo pulls off a fully realized idea and makes a very funny and super entertaining character piece. I'm gonna give this thing a 4.5 stars. Let's do that one. But this movie is really hard to talk about without getting into spoilers, and I really loved it, so maybe I'll do like a spoiler version of it when it starts like releasing in more theaters. So watch Colossal when it comes to you. If there's a movie you want me to review, past, present, and future, hit me up in the comments, hit me up in a DM. Yo, straight up slide into those DMs. I swear to God, slide into my MFing DMs, smash that MFing like button. Please, I'm begging of you. This is